Alright everyone, so today's video is for any of you who are struggling in life, maybe got depression, maybe you just feel down, things aren't working out the way you needed to, and believe me, I feel like that frequently, and only lately have I been coming into this new phase. And I really want to come back to, especially as a man, that one of the most important things is to be disciplined in your life. And if you have no discipline, if you can't even have that authority for your own self, how do you really expect anybody else to respect you then? And I think it's very important as a man that you have respect, and that is something that needs to be earned. And I just feel so alive right now because, you know what, I've been getting my ass kicked in jiu-jitsu. I've been struggling lately with jiu-jitsu, and it's only from the lows that we can learn and get the highs. But you really need to look inside yourself and take responsibility for where you are in your life. And at a bare minimum, regardless of how much money you have, if you can work your body, I'm talking like frequently, like 3 to 5 days a week. For me right now, I'm doing jiu-jitsu at least 5 days a week. And if I can, I'll get in a lift or two in the gym. And my body, I'm 35 years of age, my body, while it does feel sore, is fresh. It is constantly fresh. And you just have not been pushed enough is really the issue. And for many men in this world that we live in today, we're really emasculated. And for me, I think like it took me a long time to really step into my own masculinity. And I had also fallen into a lot of these traps, right? Like, hey, everything's got to be 50-50. You know, let's have fairness for men and women. And I think a lot of this stuff, while there is a point to it, there's nothing really in this world that's 50-50. And for instance, like, you can have it be that like, oh, we want it to be what? 50% of men are in, you know, are doing nursing. Is it going to be 50% of women are doing bricklaying? Like, of course not. That's ridiculous. And so in the same way, but we're almost being, this agenda is being pushed to say like, oh, everything should be equal. And it was only from me really doing the opposite, right? Really trying to do like, hey, everything should be equal, and, you know, trying to be the best man by just like giving everything to my wife. And not to say that you can't learn from this, but now I've really stepped into my own leadership as I've taken more control of my life. I've taken more control of my family. And what does that mean? It means that I have now have a clear path laid out for me, my family, what we need to do in order to have success. And in order for me to even have a wife that listens to me, I really need to work on myself. And so, very simple things. There's not a lot of people in this world that are even fit. So if you could even just be that, right? Fit. You can be broke and still be fit. Like right now, a gym membership is going to cost you on average less than $100. I'm in my jiu-jitsu gym, 10th Planet. For me and my family, my wife and child, it's $180 a month. And if I was to go, and I go 5 times a week, right? So when you start running out these classes, it's like, it's less than $5 a class. And it is amazing if you can even bulk up and put a little bit of weight. I used to be 145. I'm now 170. And even just people saying to me like, whoa, you look so healthy. Your chest looks, you look strong. These are things that no one ever would have said to me, ever. And how do I do that? Well, I used to also tell myself a lot of lies, right? Oh, I'm just like a fast metabolism. I just can't put on weight. And the truth of the matter is, I just didn't really care too much, and I really just didn't apply myself. And so now I'm disciplined. I eat 3,000 calories a day. I record all of that data to make sure that I'm doing it in MyFitnessPal. I train frequently. I can fight. I test myself. I do competitions in jiu-jitsu. I've done Muay Thai. And that has built an inner resilience, because the one thing I'll tell you is that your mind is playing consistent games with you. And it's consistently telling you that like you're a failure, it's telling you you can't do it, it's telling you to give up. And there's a lot of fear associated with that, which eventually just turns into you being a bitch. Is just, there's no other way to put it. And what do I mean by that is it means that you are basically not allowing yourself to reach your full potential because you're afraid. And the only way to get over that is to do the hard things. It is to train hard. It's to be disciplined. It's to make sure that you're actually pushing yourself. Even today, right? Like, even, look, I used to get the little person in my head that says, oh, you can't do it, right? Like today, there's another example. I've been training a lot lately. And so, as I've been training a lot, my brain's like, oh, you know, you need a break. You know, oh, the kids were sick today, and I was sort of feeling a little sick, and I was like, oh, I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna go today. And you know what? I had such a good training session today. I feel so alive, and I feel so much more stronger because I felt weak beforehand. And the fact that I overcame that is another win in the right direction, saying I can do it. And so for each and every one of you that are watching this video, you might have not have even tried. You might be like, oh, I don't know where a gym is. I don't know how to put on weight. Like, I just like playing video games. And not to say that those things are wrong, but it's like you need to take care of business first. That means your health has to be top. Your health has to be top. You need to somewhere be also looking at focusing on money. It couldn't be easier in this day and age to make money. You have more access to more information than any time ever. You also have more access to distractions. How do you stop that? Discipline. And if you aren't disciplined, you're not going to be able to find success in your life. And so the way I feel today, you can feel this. And guess what? It's next to free, right? It's next to free. And all it takes is for you to actually push yourself. And guess what? In jiu-jitsu too, oh my God, was I terrible at the start, right? At least I could push myself, but like, you're always going to be bad at the start. It doesn't matter what you do. And so you better start now. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago and today. And last week, I've been doing lots of competitions lately, I was embarrassed at my performance last week. And you know what it is? It's every time I have the toughest thing, or the toughest times, whether it's in business, whether it's in martial arts, it is often my biggest place of growth. Because I have to suck it up and look inside myself and go, why am I living like this? Why am I acting like this? Why am I being so all over the place? Like, and then you just start to digest this and you go, I don't have the skills. I don't know how to do this. Like, it's taken me years. Like, it doesn't happen overnight either. Like, I remember I've got a journal I've been writing in. I remember 4 years ago or so saying, I'm going to start getting up early. And gradually I did. Gradually I'm using my calendar now. It's taken me years. I've been the person like, I'm creative. I can't do this, is what I used to say to myself. That's literally what I used to say to myself. I can't do this. I'm not that type of person. And it's only with skill and discipline and focus over time that you're going to get better with anything. And so stand up for yourself. Put on a bit of weight. Go and train in the gym. Get your confidence back. Whatever you do, don't be stagnant, right? If you're feeling depressed, you're feeling down, do not just come home, get on the TV, do nothing. That couldn't be worse for yourself. And like today I mentioned, I felt sick. You know, I feel now, I feel fucking amazing. And the reason is my blood has been pumping. I've been sweating. I've been putting myself under pressure, and I often find that everything comes back to equilibrium. So if you're pushing down this way, right, let's say over here, you've got you're working out, you're going down the rabbit hole, you're pushing yourself, and then naturally as you stop that, we come back up here to balance, right? And for other occasions, like, oh, I'm not really doing anything, I'm turning into a couch potato, I'm turning into a blob, and suddenly it's like all of this shit just sort of rolls down here, and there's just no, like, coming back to balance is like you have to work out, and if you don't, it just, the scales keep tipping in the wrong direction. And you need to care for yourself. Because if you don't care for yourself, I've got bad news for you, that no one else does. No one's coming to save you. You need to take the responsibility for yourself, for your family, for your kids. And if I can do it, you can do it. Always look at it. There's no one here that's special in the world. It's just other people that worked harder, tried harder, and believed in themselves. Too many of us end up not being what we wanted to because we never believed, we never tried, and instead we got caught up in all the bullshit. So, I'm going to end the video here. As a man, be disciplined. Number 2, get dangerous. Like, get built, do some sort of martial arts. Those two intertwine, and you have to be disciplined in order to even achieve that. Number 3, put on weight or lose the weight, whatever it is. Just get into a nice fit body. And then after you start conquering those things, you can do all of those things without money. And then of course, number 4, you gotta start getting some money together. And once you get all those things, then, or even in between, you'll be surprised what will start coming to you. Whether it's your wife-to-be, who knows? But just trust, if you can start focusing inwards and focusing on yourself, your world can get a whole lot better. So I hope you appreciate this video. I'll catch you tomorrow. You can feel better too. Peace.